Hi everybody, and welcome to a new week of devotions from the team at Andover Baptist Church. My name's Chris and I'm the Senior Minister at ABC, and it's my privilege to be leading you through our devotions Monday to Friday this week. We're going to focus our thoughts around a theme that I've called the bigger picture. I've been sensing recently God speaking to me about perspective, and it started in the Lake District. Ruth and I have been able to be away on holiday a few weeks ago for a couple of weeks in the Lake District, and we had a lovely time. And one of the things we love doing these days is hiking, and particularly hiking up into the high mountains like this one behind me here. And there's a bit of an irony to that, really, because when I was a kid, I didn't really used to like walking very much, and my parents loved it, and we'd often go away on holiday and they'd drag me and my sister out for walks. And I mean, we did it, but we weren't terribly keen. It wouldn't have been something that we loved. But these days, I absolutely love it. And Ruth and I love walking up these mountains and hiking around the Lake District together. And one of the walks we did on this last holiday that we had up there was quite a long walk that started from Grasmere and went up a couple of miles outside Grasmere to a place called Easdale Tarn, which is absolutely beautiful, and a lake up in the mountains. And it's surrounded by mountains on almost all sides. And although it was beautiful, our view was very limited. Our perspective on what was going on around us was very limited because it's surrounded by these mountains. You can't see beyond them. And sometimes actually it even felt a little bit claustrophobic. And I knew we were going to have to go beyond the Tarn, up these mountains, to get to the next level that we were going to on our walk. And to begin with, at least, we couldn't see the path. And it just looked really steep. And I thought, gosh, this is going to be a real struggle. Well, we did climb up. And it was a struggle, and there were bits where we were almost literally kind of climbing, hands and feet, scrambling up rock to get up this mountain path to the top. But once we got to the top, the views opened up extraordinarily, and we went on up another couple of peaks, including this one, called High Raise. And from the top of that, you could literally see from one end of the Lake District to the other, about 50 miles in total, from Bassenthwaite in the north all the way down Windermere to the sea in the south. And it was the most extraordinary thing. And suddenly, within an hour of walking, our perspective had completely changed. From being kind of hemmed in and surrounded and only seeing this tiny little bit of the world, to now being able to see a huge amount, almost 50 miles from one end of the Lake District to the other. Suddenly, our perspective was way bigger than it had been before, and we could see things we'd never seen before. And as I've been reflecting on that, and as I was reflecting on that indeed whilst we were still up in the Lake District doing those walks, because a lot of the time when we're walking up mountains, I just have to concentrate on breathing, I can't talk. And so some of these things mull round in my mind. And I sense God saying to me about perspective and saying, this bigger picture thing is what God sees so often. And sometimes we don't. We just see this tiny little bit, and it feels claustrophobic or caught in or a struggle or whatever it is. And we can't really see the bigger picture. Most of the time in our lives, we can't choose our circumstances. We can't choose whether we're in the valley feeling surrounded or on the mountaintop feeling great. We can't choose our circumstances, but we can choose what perspective we take on those circumstances. And the journey to a bigger perspective might not always be easy. It might involve some struggle, some effort on our part, but it is always worth it. In the New Testament book of Colossians, the author, Paul, exhorts us to see a bigger picture. It says this, and Paul says this in Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 to 4. Since then you have been raised with Christ. Set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. For you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, appears, then you will also appear with him in glory. Paul says, set your minds on things above, not on things below. Lift yourself to a bigger perspective, to see a bigger perspective. And over the next few days, we're going to look together at how we might do that, how we might lift our eyes to see the bigger perspective. But for now, whatever your circumstances are today, whatever you're going through, whatever your day is going to hold for you, I want to encourage you and pray for you to set your minds on the things above, to set your mind on God and how he feels about you, to see the bigger picture. Let me pray for us all now. Lord God, for each and every one of us engaging on this devotion today, whatever our circumstances might be, whether we're in the valleys or on the mountains, I pray you would help us to see the bigger perspective, to set our minds and our hearts on you, on the things of you, not on the things of this earth. And help us to see that bigger perspective and to place our confidence and our trust in you and in you alone. Amen. Today's song is called Bigger Than I Thought You Were. There's a link to it in the description below, and it's being sung for us by our amazing worship team here at ABC. And I hope as you'll listen to that, you'll allow God to work through that, to remind you that he is bigger than ever we know or think that he is, and his perspective is so much bigger than ours. Thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.